What if they just cut the hilt and not the pommel? Did you think that I meant that your opponent would be aiming for your pommel? No, they'd be aiming for you. Okay. If your opponent swings super fast, and you direct your pommel at their blade, their blade is going to hit the pommel. If they cut through the hilt when you're trying to use this very, I will admit, very risky technique, that's probably your fault. Yes, this technique is extremely risky, but that's why it requires much better skill, timing, and precision than your opponent has. You can't just use this reverse grip technique and expect it to work. You need to have like David or Clark's skill, or be even more skillful, in order for it to work. Compared to your opponent's skill, let's say if they were untrained. That's the skill difference that's probably required to make this work. I don't actually know, but that's my best guess. So not anyone can do it, and it's very risky. You can't just use it and expect it to work. But this is the only chance reverse grip has to prove to David that it works. The other way is if your opponent is also using reverse grip, or if you, using reverse grip, don't even need a sword to win the fight in the first place. Like if you're an elephant. Of course an elephant's going to win using reverse grip. It doesn't need a sword to win the fight in the first place. And so yeah, that's not really reverse grip winning the fight at all then. But if your opponent is also using reverse grip, then it can work. But don't just expect this technique to work all the time. You gotta have that much better skill than your opponent has. I feel bad for reverse grip. And I feel like this is the only chance it has. But I bet that if David used this, I'm thinking that if David from Self Sword Arts used this technique, even against Matt from Soul Sword Arts. That it might work. Assuming David's actually trying to win. Using this technique. Flat pommel. Opponent swings their sword in forward grip. Block their blade with your pommel. And you know what? You know what else is very overpowered about this technique? There actually is something that anyone can use. There's a part of this technique that anyone can use. The most overpowered thing about this reverse grip technique is that if you need to, you can switch the forward grip very quickly. If you need to. This is how reverse grip works.